Okay, Mike Masato, CEO of Staff Driven Dental and the Dental Road Warrior, returning for episode 78 in the series. Happy New Year to everyone. It's 2020, and I think we're entering into the third year, I believe, since I started the Dental Road Warrior series. So thanks for sticking with me and following along, and hopefully you're finding these videos insightful and helpful to your practice if you've been following along and listening to these words of wisdom. So what I want to start off the new year with in this video is talking about the number one violation of practice success. Yes. What happens if you have practice success? You know, you're doing something that's working for you, and your practice is booming, things are going great, things are turning around, going in a positive direction, we're making numbers, new patients are coming in, you know, I'm starting to have the kind of practice I envisioned, and all of a sudden, along comes the number one thing you could possibly do, which would be a violation, which would go against all that practice success you're having. Why would you do that? Well, you know, it happens because sabotage is built in to its human nature to sabotage ourselves, especially when things are going good. I won't get into the whole psychological reason why that is on this video, but it is very intriguing. But so what you want to do is you want to avoid, obviously, those pitfalls where, you know, why would you undo everything you did to get you to be successful and things going the right way in your practice? But here's the number one thing you can do to violate your practice success. Here it is. You ready? It's very, very insightful. Okay, you stop doing all the things you did to get you there, to do that in the first place. See, it's an incredible phenomenon to me how I will spend and my coaches will spend so much time and so much work closely coaching and working with practices. And on some, not all, right, after a massive year of success, of change and growth and transformation, take the position like, you know what, we're good. Everything's okay now. We can stop the process. We don't have to worry about, you know, doing all the things, staying on top of the things that we've done to get us here. You know, it's almost like what autopilot switch goes on and we got it. You know, I used to use the analogy, what happens when you go to the gym, like you went to the gym and you were out of shape, you know, to start training and working out. So you went to the gym, you spent a year getting in shape, you lost all the weight, you're in shape, and you go, you know what, I'm good. I don't have to go to the gym ever again. You would never say that because that wouldn't make any sense. You know, it's the same thing. You want to continue on with all the successful actions you've done. Right? And that's really, again, one of the things we don't look at a lot. You know, we'll look at things that when things aren't going well in our practice, and we'll try to identify all the bad things when things aren't happening or not going the way they're supposed to, and they try to figure out what those are, and they may jump out at us. But we never take the time to step back. Wait a minute, I had this awesome year. I did really great. I did a lot of great things this year. What did I do? What great things did I do? And you know, what did we change? And how are we going to strengthen and improve those things to make sure we stay on this path? Because you know what? It's a very insidious thing. It's human nature to get complacent, to get lazy, to fall back into our bad habits. You don't want to do that. You don't intend to do that. I always get these excuses. Oh, we're going to continue on. Well, we got it. We're on our own, and you know, we'll be okay, and everything else. And look. There comes a point when your coach will tell you, hey, look, we've done a good job here. We got you to the point where we coached ourselves out of a job. But more often than not, you know, you're not going to transform and do everything you need to do to get you where you want in a year. You know, especially if it took you 10 years to get to the bad point, right? There's a lot to address. And I can tell you the best thing to do in keeping your life is to make sure that you continue to do all the things that got you where you want to be, and strengthen those things. And the way you do that is having someone looking over your shoulder. You're giving you guidance, being the eye in the sky, making sure we don't get off track, because that's what happens. It's very easy to go back into the grind of practice and get away from doing things that we should be doing. And this comes up all the time. You know, whenever I start with a new client, you know, one of the first things we talk about, well, let's look at all the tried and true things you did in the past before that you stopped doing. They're like, well, what are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. All right. Well, let's talk about, like, for example, I'll talk about morning huddles. I'll bring that up. It came up the other day. Oh, yeah, morning huddles. We used to do morning huddles. They were great. Okay, what happened? Well, you know, we went away on vacation. We came back one summer. We stopped doing them, and we never got back to them. And now morning huddles are gone. At what cost? Right? What about, employee reviews? Have you done any reviews? Well, yeah, we used to sit down with employees once a year and talk with them and whatever, and, you know, we did that, and it got to become cumbersome, so we stopped doing that in the practice. You know, and that fell out. And on and on and on. Right? This happens all the time in practice. That we get complacent, we get lazy, we let things drop out, and it's very easy to get caught up into the day-to-day of practice, of working on the practice, just doing clinical dentistry, and we forget. All right, we go back and we get off track from all those successful things that we used to do before, and let go. Staff meetings, doing financials with patients, collecting. Oh, we used to do this and then we used to do that. I hear this all the time, right? And again, that's the first place to start. Well, let's instead of looking for all the miraculous new stuff that a coach may bring you or a consultant may bring you, there's always got to be some revelation of new things. Sometimes the stuff that's tried and true, that's the most obvious, it's right there that you were doing before. Start with that, because you were doing it already. We knew better. We should have known better, and now we're being made aware of it. Let's start with that. That's the easiest place to start. Let's get back in all the successful things we were doing before to make sure they're back in. Then we can build on that, right? But as I said before, you really want to make sure that there's a plan in place every day to continue on with everything that's successful, that's working. And it starts with a recognition of those things. What got us there? Who got us there? Right? Who's in our lives making a positive impact right now, and maintaining that. And I'm not saying this is a sales point because I need to get renewals of my program. Okay, trust me. Okay, that's not where I always tell my clients. That's not where I make the money on my renewals. I don't. The heavy lifting is done in the first year or two that I work with them. It's the value. It's an insurance policy, more so for you. Not to undo all the great things or let all the hard work you did disappear. That's why you constantly go for CE on your clinical side. You're constantly improving your craft so you get better and better at what you do, because otherwise you get stale. You get left behind. Things are always changing, always getting better. It's either getting better or getting worse, I always say in practice. Look, which is it? Your clinical skills are either getting better or getting worse. Your business skills are either getting better or getting worse. Which is it? Nothing's staying the same. Right? So you don't want to get complacent and think that all the success you've had and you've achieved is just going to stay the same, all by itself. It's not. It takes some effort. It takes working on it constantly and putting in safeguards to make sure that we don't get off track and we don't get away from those things, because again, that's the number one violation of practice success. And I know it sounds, common sense, I would never do that, right? But believe me, it happens more than you know. And I'm sharing this with you because I don't want anybody listening to this right now, again, who's had some success in whatever you're doing in 2019, to lead into 2020 and make the critical mistake of letting that just go by the boards, right? Take these words of wisdom, trust me. And there's never been a time that it's ever worked out well, when someone's come back to me a year or two later and go, you were right. Things got away, and alumni come back, and they got to retread old ground. Why retread old ground? Why go back and redo stuff you did already? It's a waste of time and money and resources. Don't do that, right? Build a culture of accountability to success and maintain that culture, and don't get away from it. All right? Hope you enjoyed that video. Hope it was useful, and enjoy that pothole from New Jersey. And I'll be back before you know it with another episode. Thanks for watching.